Hi and welcome to this video. So when it comes to that trailer sound, it can be quite a challenge, especially when you just started out or trying to get into the world of trailer music. During the last years, I was listening to a lot of trailer tracks from aspiring composers, and there seems to be some kind of mistakes that happen over and over again. So in this video, I don't want to get too much into the mixing or mastering side of things, but how you can improve your track and your arrangement by just following a few simple steps. So let's assume you started working on your first trailer track and it sounds a little bit like this. But actually you had something in mind like this. Okay, so let's get into this and see how we can improve our track. So let's analyze the first example a little bit here. And what do we see? Basically, we have a single bass line played with sustained strings with the basses that is supposed to give you the entire, let's say, bass power for this entire track. Next up, we have the string ostinato here. And again, there is nothing wrong with repeating pattern, but it seems to be the only ostinato arpeggio-like thing that is supporting or carrying the entire track. Okay, next up we have the typical French horns melody, and let's listen to this. So one thing I hear very often is that the composer played this melody on the keyboard by hand, which is not a problem at all, but there was no editing or no fine-tuning happen later. Always remember that every sample library out there has different attack times, different delays and all that stuff. You really want to make sure that it is entirely in flow of the track. The other problem is that this melody doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't tell a story. It is just a wild mix of notes. However, what we want is to create a simple and easy, but also interesting magical pattern that can be understood by non-composers. I mean, always remember, we are not trying to impress other composers. We are trying to get as many features in TV shows and movie trailers. Okay, next up are the percussion. Let's listen to this. So what is happening here? So basically we have a lot of hard-hitting notes playing over and over again. And the other thing is that it seems to be just one bar of copy and paste. So it's not always in general loud music that creates ear fatigue. It's also boring, repeating, hard-hitting patterns without any sense of dynamics. And to be honest, most of the time it is that. This is everything when it comes to the arrangement. And then people are surprised why their track doesn't sound as rich and full as other trailer tracks. So let's check out what I did here to improve that track. So let's check out the strings first. And I did not that much. It's just that I added an octave above to give the entire section a little bit more sting and air. It's basically everything. I left everything as it is. Next up, let's check the viola section here. I additionally created this here. This wasn't there in the other track. And these kind of instruments that add a little bit of, let's say, pace and speed and tension to the entire music, because it's very quick but very subtle. And also, most important, it's not just entirely copy and paste, it varies towards the end. And this changes the entire outcome of the strings. Sorry. Okay, next up, probably top number one mistake that people don't be aware of when it comes to a very mighty and epic arrangement is the trombones. And I'm not talking about just like supporting the bass line or something, but coming up with full chords. So let's listen to what we have so far. Okay, so the most changes happened for the horn melody. I completely simplified this melody. I put lots of reverb on top to just make it really floaty, flowing through space. And it sounds like this. Very simple question and answer. Let's listen to how it sounds. Okay, so let's get into the percussion world here. And what I did, let's listen to how this sounds without this upper thing here. So as you can hear, completely simplified pattern, but not entirely copy and paste, but putting a little bit of variation here and there, especially towards the end. Now let's play this thing with the upper notes also, and you can hear this fast 16th pattern that also kind of like layers with the violas. So let's actually drag the hits up here and let's talk about what I did here. Just some accents here. Let's check these out. Let's listen to this in combination with the groove. So I think we created a very easy to understand, driving and tension creating percussion pattern here. Okay, time to talk about the synth. So what I did here is coming up with a very simple pad sound. You can pick whatever you want, but most important is that it sounds kind of rich and also floating and just connecting the entire track and also layering a lot. So let's listen to the entire track for a moment without this pad and then put it back in. Let's put it back in. So it's very subtle, but it adds a lot of juice to the track. So next up are a few supporting elements. It's pretty obvious when I say sub bass, but let's check out this little sub bass here. Okay, so let's listen to the full track without the sub bass. Let's turn it back on. Off. On again. So next up, we are layering the horn with a synth. So I like this idea that you can't just hear a horn, but there is something else going on in the background. Let's listen to this lead synth here. Let's listen to how this sounds without. Let's turn it on. Turn it off. Okay, last thing in this arrangement is that little low distorted synth. It sounds like this. Also, there's a lot of reverb on top. So this thing basically gives a little bit more attack to the trombones, it supports the bass, and it kind of like connects the sub bass with the trombones. So let's listen to the full track again here. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just don't forget that I have a giveaway currently running. I'm giving away my trailer music course, so you find the link in the video description below. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the comment section. I would be really happy to hear from you. If you like this video, leave a like. In case you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I would be very happy. And as always, hope to see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.